Welcome to REwise program of CivicCentreIAS. This video presents you 50 most important topics that represent the current affairs of October 2024. So these are the list of topics which we are going to do. All these topics will be discussed in MCQ format for better understanding. Now let us move on to the first question. Consider the following statements regarding National Human Rights Commission. Now coming to the statements, it is a statutory body established under Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. Second, the chairperson and members are appointed by the Prime Minister on the recommendation of Council of Ministers. Third, its recommendations are binding on government. And asked, which of the above statements is or are incorrect? You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. National Human Rights Commission is a statutory body, not a constitutional body, established under legislation enacted by Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. It is a multi-member body which consists of chairperson and 5 members. Coming to the tenure, they hold office for a term of 3 years or until they attain the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. They are appointed and removed by the President of India. Also, it has no power to punish the violators of human rights, nor to award any relief, including monetary relief, to the victim. Notably, its recommendations are not binding on the concerned government or authority. From this, option B will be the right answer, because the chairperson and members are appointed by the President of India and its recommendations are not binding on the government. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following organizations or bodies in India. It has given 4 statements, that is, the National Commission for Backward Classes, second, the National Human Rights Commission, third, the National Law Commission, and fourth, the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, and asked, how many of the above are constitutional bodies? Here only statement 1, that is the National Commission for Backward Classes, is a constitutional body. So the correct answer will be option A. So these are the constitutional and non-constitutional bodies. You may have doubt that what is meant by constitutional and non-constitutional bodies. That is, the source of authority for constitutional bodies derive their functions directly by the Constitution of India, whereas non-constitutional bodies are created by the acts of Parliament or state legislatures. Coming to the second question, it says that consider the following statements regarding PM-JDY. Now coming to the statements, it aims to provide integrated seamless connectivity, improving the last mile connectivity by reducing traveling time. Second, it covers economic zones like textile clusters, pharmaceutical clusters, defense corridors, and industrial corridors. Third, it is implemented by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. And asked, which of the statements given above are correct? Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. PM-JDY is a national master plan for multimodal connectivity, which was launched by the Prime Minister of India in October 2021. It aims to provide integrated seamless connectivity for the movement of people, goods and services across multiple transport modes, improving last mile connectivity and reducing traveling time. Here the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has approved for the implementation of PM-JDY. Also, it integrates with various ministries and state governments such as Bharatmala, Sagarmala, Inland Waterways, Udan and others. Additionally, it covers various economic zones like textile clusters, pharmaceutical clusters, defense corridors and industrial corridors. It uses advanced technology to improve connectivity and make Indian businesses more competitive. And it is based on 6 pillars, that is comprehensive, prioritization, optimization, synchronization, analytical and dynamic. So the correct answer will be option D. Hence, all the statements given are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is aimed at and given bridging the small entrepreneurs into formal financial system. Second, providing loans to poor farmers for cultivating particular crops. Third, providing pensions to old and destitute persons. Fourth, funding the voluntary organizations involved in the promotion of skill development and employment generations. Here only statement 1 is the correct answer because It was launched by the Government of India in 2015, which provides loans to 20 lakh to the non-corporate, non-farm, small or micro enterprises. These loans are classified as Mudra loans under PM-Mudra Yojana. Additionally, these loans are given by commercial banks, RRBs, small finance banks, MFIs and NBFCs. Now coming to the third question. With reference to NPS VATSALYA, which of the following statements is or are correct? Now coming to the statements, it is a plan for contributions by parents and guardians for minor children. Second, it is launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. And given, select the correct answer using the code given below. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. NPS VATSALYA is a plan for contributions by parents and guardians for minor children which was launched in 2024. It comes under Ministry of Finance. Coming to the objective, it ensures the future financial security of their children and contribute towards their retirement savings. Additionally, this scheme will be run under the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, the regulatory body for managing and overseeing pension funds. All parents and guardians, whether Indian citizens, NRIs or overseas citizens of India, are eligible to open an NPS VATSALYA account for their minor children. Now the benefits are, here the account can be opened through eNPS website with a minimum contribution of ₹1000. Initially, this scheme is designated to be operated by parents until the child reaches 18 years, after which the account transfers into the child's name. Upon reaching the age of majority, the plan can be seamlessly converted into a regular NPS account. So the correct answer will be option A. Here, statement 1 is correct because NPS VATSALYA is a plan for contributions by parents and guardians for their minor children. And statement 2 is incorrect because it is launched by the Ministry of Finance. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to National Investment and Infrastructure Fund, which of the following statements is or are correct? And given the statements as, it is an organ of Niti Aayog. Second, it has a corpus of rupees 4 lakh crore at present. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Basically, National Investment and Infrastructure Fund is a collaborative investment platform for international and Indian investors who are looking for investment opportunities in infrastructure and other high growth sectors of the country. It was India's first infrastructure specific investment fund and set up by the Government of India in February 2015. It has total corpus of fund rupees 40,000 crore. And it was set up as Category 2 Alternative Investment Fund under the Securities and Exchange Board of India regulations. Hence, the correct answer is option D, that is, both the statements given are incorrect. Coming to the fourth question, it says that, consider the following, and given the first statement as, the literary tradition must be original and not borrowed from another speech community. Second, a body of ancient literature which is considered a heritage by generations of speakers. Third, knowledge texts, especially prose texts in addition to poetry, epigraphical and inscriptional evidence. And asked, how many of the above meet the criteria of classical languages? Pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Initially, the Government of India decided to create a new category of languages as classical languages on 12th October 2004 and declared Tamil as a first classical language. Here, the criteria was revised in 2024, that is, high antiquity of its early text or recorded history over a period of 1500 to 2000 years. Second, a body of ancient literature or text which is considered a heritage by generations of speakers. Third, knowledge texts, especially prose texts in addition to poetry, epigraphical and inscriptional evidence. Fourth, the classical languages and literature could be distinct from its current form or could be discontinuous with later forms of its offshoots. These were the languages added in these years. So the correct answer will be option B. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that, which of the following was given classical language status recently? And given Odia, Konkani, Bhojpuri and Assamese. So the correct answer is Odia, that is, it was added in 2014. Coming to the fifth question, it says that, with reference to the Kaziranga National Park, which of the following statements are correct? And given statements as, it lies on the banks of Brahmaputra river. Second, it is a part of Eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot. Third, it is dominated by tropical dry deciduous forest. And asked, which of the following statements given above is or are incorrect? Pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. It is located in Golaghat and Nagaon districts of Assam and lies on the banks of Brahmaputra river. It was recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1985 and it is home to Big Five, that is one-horned rhinoceros, Royal Bengal tiger, Asian elephant, wild water buffalo and swamp deer. Also, it was declared a tiger reserve in 2006 under Project Tiger. Additionally, it was designated as a Ramsar site in 2021 for its rich wetland ecosystem. Also, it is a part of Eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot. Significantly, it is dominated by tropical moist deciduous forest. So, the correct answer is option A. Here, statement 3 is incorrect because it is dominated by tropical moist deciduous forest. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to India's Desert National Park, which of the following statements are correct? And given, it is spread over 2 districts. Second, there is no human habitation inside the park. Third, it is one of the natural habitations of Great Indian Bustard. Here, statement 1 is correct because it is spread over 2 districts, that is Jaisalmer and Barmer districts of Rajasthan. And statement 2 is incorrect because normally human activities are not allowed in the national park. But many villagers lived inside the Desert National Park and they did not have even basic facilities like road, electricity and water. So in 2017, Supreme Court ordered the government to provide such facilities to them. And there are several national parks in India that have human habitation within or around the park boundaries. That is Gir National Park in Gujarat, Kanha National Park in Madhya Pradesh, Bandhavgarh National Park in Madhya Pradesh, Pench National Park in Madhya Pradesh, Nagarhole National Park in Karnataka and Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary in Kerala. And here statement 3 is also correct, that is it is one of the natural habitats of the Great Indian Bustard. Hence option C is the correct answer, that is 1 and 3 are correct. Here it is important to learn about Great Indian Bustard. It is a state bird of Rajasthan and it is mostly confined to Rajasthan and Gujarat, but small populations can be seen in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh. Also, it is considered as flagship grassland species. Remember that IUCN status of Great Indian Bustard is critically endangered and it is protected as Schedule 1 under Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and Appendix 1 under CITES. It is under constant threats such as human intrusion, high-powered cables, hunting and habitat loss. Now coming to the 6th question. Match the following correctly regarding wildlife sanctuary. Here lists 1 and 2 are mentioned. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. So here option D will be the correct answer, that is Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Kerala, KAIMUR Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Bihar, Askot Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Uttarakhand and Mudumalai Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Tamil Nadu. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following are the most likely places to find the musk deer in its natural habitat, and given the statements as Askot Wildlife Sanctuary, Gangotri National Park, Kishanpur Wildlife Sanctuary and Manas National Park. So here in Askot Wildlife Sanctuary and in Gangotri National Park in India, we can find musk deers. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Also, it can be found in Dachingam National Park in Jammu and Kashmir, Kedarnath Wildlife Sanctuary in Uttarakhand, Valley of Flowers National Park in Uttarakhand. Now, let us learn briefly about musk deers. Musk deer can be seen in Himalayan states such as Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Throughout Asia, musk deer can be found in a variety of hilly and wooded areas. It lives in high alpine habitats between 2,500 and 5,000 meters above the sea level. Although each species has unique habitat, most of them are suited to areas with a lot of vegetation for shelter and cover. Also remember that The IUCN status of musk deer is endangered. Coming to the 7th question, it says that consider the following and given Brunei, Philippines, India, Indonesia and Taiwan and asked which of the above are members of ASEAN. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. It is a regional organization comprising 10 Southeast Asian nations which aims to foster economic and security cooperation. Initially, it was established in 1967. The members of ASEAN are Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam. And it is chaired by one of its member states rotating annually, and decisions are typically made through consultation guided by principles of non-interference and peaceful conflict resolution. So here option A will be the right answer. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that consider the following countries and given Australia, Canada, China, India, Japan, USA and asked which of the above are among the free trade partners of ASEAN. So, free trade partners of ASEAN are Australia, China, India, Japan, New Zealand and Republic of Korea. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Let's go to the next question. It says that consider the following statements regarding QUAD and statements such as it aims to keep the strategic sea routes in the Indo-Pacific free of any military or political influence. Second, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has first proposed the idea of creating QUAD. Third, unlike NATO, the QUAD does not include provisions for collective defense. And given, which of the statements given above are correct? Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about it. QUAD, Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, is an informal strategic forum which comprises of 4 nations, that is India, USA, Australia and Japan. These 4 countries share a common interest in maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific, promoting democracy, human rights and the rule of law and countering China's expanding influence in the region. Initially, it was formed in 2007 during an informal meeting of leaders from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Additionally, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has first proposed the idea of creating QUAD. Now let us see how QUAD functions. The QUAD is a loose grouping rather than a formal alliance. Also, it does not have a decision-making body or a secretariat or a formal structure like NATO or the United Nations. Unlike NATO, the QUAD does not include provisions for collective defense. Instead, it chooses to conduct joint military exercises as a show of unity and diplomatic cohesion. And the alliance is maintained through summits, meetings, information exchanges and military drills. So, the correct answer will be option D. That is, all the statements given above are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that consider the following statements and given the International Solar Alliance was launched at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in 2015. Second, the alliance includes all the member countries of the United Nations and given which of the statements given above is or are correct. Basically, International Solar Alliance is a global initiative and it is a joint initiative of France and India which was launched in 2015 at the COP21 summit in Paris, which aims to promote solar energy as a sustainable solution for energy access and climate change. Its headquarters lies in India and it is the first international organization established in the country reflecting India's commitment to multilateralism and a carbon neutral future. With 120 member and signatory countries, the International Solar Alliance plays a key role in advancing global solar cooperation, enhancing energy security and supporting the transition to cleaner energy systems. So, here statement 1 is correct because it was launched at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in 2015 and statement 2 is incorrect because it does not include all member countries of United Nations, but all member states of the United Nations are eligible to join International Solar Alliance. Hence, option A will be the right answer. Okay, coming to the 9th question, it says that Consider the following and given these statements and asked how many of the above are most likely benefits of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana scheme. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now, it is a national mission for financial inclusion which was launched by the Indian government in 2014. It aims to provide financial services to all citizens regardless of their socio-economic status. From then, it made significant progress towards increasing financial literacy and reducing poverty. The key benefits of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana are zero balance account, that is, no minimum balance required, making banking accessible to low income and rural populations. Second, debit card and overdraft facility, in which RuPay debit card is issued for easy transactions, and eligible account holders can avail of an overdraft facility of up to Rs 10,000. Third, insurance coverage, accidental insurance cover and life insurance cover, that is 2 lakhs and 30,000 respectively. Also, the program guarantees access to a variety of financial services including availability of basic savings bank account, access to need-based credit, remittances facility, pension and insurance. Hence, option D is the correct answer. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that what is or are advantage or advantages of implementing the National Agriculture Market Scheme, and given it is a pan-India electronic trading portal for agriculture commodities. Second, it provides the farmers access to nationwide market with prices commensurate with the quality of their produce. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. And yes, it is the Pan-India Electronic Trading Portal for Agriculture Commodities, and it provides the farmers access to nationwide market with prices commensurate with quality of their produce. So, both the statements given are correct. Now coming to the 10th question, it says that which of the following statements regarding Konark Sun Temple is correct? And given the statements are, it is built in 13th century by King Narasimhadeva I of Eastern Ganga dynasty. Second, it was built on Condalite stone, which is known for its durability and intricate carvings. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Actually, the word Konark is a combination of two words, that is Kona and Arka. Kona means corner and Arka means sun, that is sun of the corner. It is located in Puri in Odisha, which is dedicated to Surya, that is the sun god. Here the Kalinga architecture style was used, and it was built in 13th century by King Narasimhadeva I of Eastern Ganga dynasty. Also, it was built on Condalite stone, which is known for its durability and intricate carvings. The temple was designed as a chariot with 24 wheels and 7 horses. Coming to its cultural significance, the Konark Sun Temple is listed under UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. Additionally, the Black Pagoda is the another name for the Sun Temple. Because it looked like a big black tiered structure, this temple was known as Black Pagoda by European sailor tales as early as 1676. Whereas the Puri Jagannath temple was sometimes dubbed as White Pagoda for its color. Now we shall learn about Kalinga style. It is a sub-style of Nagara architecture, which originated in ancient kingdom of Kalinga, which is now part of Odisha. Basically, it is made of two parts, that is tower and hall. And it is characterized of Rekadyola, Pidadyola, Kakradyola. In Rekadyola, a tall curved tower that raises above the temple sanctum, that is Garbhagriha. And in Pidadyola, it is square building typically with a pyramid shaped roof. And in Kakradyola, it is characterized by rectangular building with a truncated pyramid shaped roof. Some of the examples of Kalinga style are Jagannath temple, which is located in Puri, Lingaraja temple in Bhubaneswar, that is in Odisha, and Rajarani temple in Bhubaneswar, that is Odisha. From this, the correct answer is option C, that is both 1 and 2 are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following is or are famous for Sun Temple? The given statements are Arasavalli, Amarkantak and Omkareshwar. Here, the correct answer is option A. Actually, we can eliminate the options. That is, Amarkantak and Omkareshwar talks about God Shiva, but Sun Temple resembles the god Surya. Now, coming to the next question, it says, with reference to the Pradhana Mantri Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, consider the following statements. And given, it aims to provide food security and agriculture self-sufficiency. Second, it is an umbrella scheme for Krishi Vikas Yojana and Krishonati Yojana. Third, it focuses exclusively on organic farming and crop diversification. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Pradhana Mantri Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana is an umbrella scheme. That is, Krishi Vikas Yojana and Krishonati Yojana. Krishi Vikas Yojana promote sustainable agriculture, and Krishonati Yojana is to address food security and agriculture self-sufficiency. It comes under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer, and both are central sponsored schemes. The total expenditure is of 101,321.61 crore. Coming to the objectives and rationalization, first, to avoid duplication and ensure convergence. That is, streamlining multiple schemes into a comprehensive strategic framework. Second, to address emerging challenges in agriculture. That is, to cover nutrition security, sustainability, climate resilience, value chain development, and private sector participation. Third, to enhance state flexibility. Here, states can prepare comprehensive agriculture strategic plans rather than submitting individual scheme-wise annual action plans. And state-specific fund relocation in Pradhana Mantri Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. That is, states can reallocate funds across different components based on their needs. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, statement 3 is incorrect because Pradhana Mantri Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana comprises of following schemes. That is, soil health management, rain-fed area development, agroforestry, Parampragat Krishi Vikas Yojana, agriculture mechanization including crop residue management, per drop more crop, crop diversification program, and accelerator fund for agri startups. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that what is the purpose of Vidyanjali Yojana? And given, to enable the famous foreign educational institutions to open their campuses in India. Second, to increase the quality of education provided in government schools by taking help from the private sector and the community. Third, to encourage voluntary monetary contributions from private individuals and organizations so as to improve the infrastructure facilities for primary and secondary schools. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Basically, Vidyanjali Yojana is a school volunteer program sponsored by India's Ministry of Human Resource Development. It was established to improve the quality of education provided in government schools with the assistance of private sector and the community. Hence, option A is the correct answer. That is, to increase the quality of education provided in government schools by taking help from the private sector and the community. And statements 1 and 3 are incorrect. Now coming to the next question, it says, consider the following, and given agriculture products, foodstuffs, wine and spirit drinks, handicrafts, industrial products and generic products, and asked which of the above are considered for GI tag. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about it. A geographical indication is a sign used on products that have a specific geographical origin and possess qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. And it is part of the intellectual property rights that comes under Paris Convention for the Protection of Industrial Property. In India, geographical indications registration is administered by the Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Act of 1999. Additionally, geographical indications are typically used for agriculture products, foodstuffs, wine and spirit drinks, handicrafts, and industrial products. From this, the correct answer is option D, and generic products is not considered under GI tag. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following pairs and given crafts and heritage of, and asked which of the pairs given above is or are correct. Here, Putukuli shawls belongs to Tamil Nadu and Sujani embroidery belongs to Bihar. Upada Jamdani saris belong to Andhra Pradesh. So here, option A is the correct answer. Coming to the next question, it says, consider the following pairs and given corridor and the temple linked with it, and asked how many of the above pairs either are correctly matched. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Recently, Kartarpur corridor was in news. That is, India and Pakistan agreed to renew their agreement to operate the Kartarpur corridor to facilitate pilgrims from India to visit the Kartarpur Sahib Gurudwara for another 5 years in October. Let us learn about Kartarpur corridor. It is a visa-free border crossing that connects the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan to the border with India. Coming to its religious importance, the place holds immense religious significance for Sikhs from across the globe because of Dera Baba Nanak Gurudwara. It was Guru Nanak, the first Guru of Sikhism, who founded Kartarpur in 1504 and died here in 1539. Later, Dera Baba Nanak Gurudwara was established here on the banks of river Ravi to commemorate him. Let us also discuss about Guru Nanak, also known as Baba Nanak. He was born on 15th April 1469 in Rai Boi Di Talwandi, which is now Nankana Sahib in Pakistan. He propagated the doctrine of Ek Omkar and promoted that everyone who worshipped God with a pure conscience might establish a relationship with him. Also, he advocated equality among all, irrespective of their gender, caste, and background. And he denounced the caste system. Also, he proposed the idea of Sangat, that is community, where everyone may gather for worship. The holy religious text of Sikhism, the Guru Granth Sahib, is a comprehensive compilation of all his teachings. Additionally, he established 3 pillars of Sikhism, that is, Nam Japna, means meditating on God's name. Second, Kirat Karni, that is, honest and true living. And Van Chakna, that is sharing with others, especially those in need. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here only Kartarpur corridor and Mandira Parikrama corridor are correctly matched. And Somnath Promenade corridor is linked with Somnath, that is Shiva. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following Bhakti saints and given Dadu Dayal, Guru Nanak and Tyagaraja, and asked who among the above was or were preaching when the Lodi dynasty fell and Babur took over. Here, Dadu Dayal was a prominent saint and poet who lived during the 16th century. He preached in the region of Rajasthan and Gujarat. However, he was born in 1544, several years after the fall of Lodi dynasty. Therefore, Dadu Dayal was not preaching during the time of Lodi dynasty's downfall and Babur's rise. And Guru Nanak, he was born in Punjab, which was the heartland of Lodi dynasty. The Lodi dynasty fell in 1526 and Guru Nanak was actively preaching during this period. Therefore, Guru Nanak was preaching when the Lodi dynasty fell and Babur took over. And here, Tyagaraja was a renowned composer and one of the greatest exponents of Carnatic music. He lived from 1767 to 1847, which was long after the Lodi dynasty had fallen and the Mughal Empire had been established. Therefore, Tyagaraja was not preaching during the time of Lodi dynasty's downfall and Babur's rise. From this, option B is the correct answer. Coming to the next question, it says, with reference to National Green Hydrogen Mission, consider the following. And given, it aims to make India a net exporter of green hydrogen. Second, it is targeted to produce a green hydrogen production capacity of at least 5 MMT, million metric ton per annum, and asked which of the above statements is or are correct. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. National Green Hydrogen Mission was launched on 4th January 2023. Here, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is a nodal ministry. Its objective is to promote the commercial production, utilization and export of green hydrogen, positioning India as a global hub and net exporter of green hydrogen. The mission goals of National Green Hydrogen Mission are to develop a green hydrogen production capacity of at least 5 MMT million metric tons annually and to add 125 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity to support green hydrogen production. Also, it is targeted to reduce dependence on imported fossil fuels, create export opportunities and support the country's goal of achieving net zero emissions by 2070. From this, the correct answer is option C. That is, both the statements given are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, consider the following statements and given private and public hospitals must adopt it. Second, as it aims to achieve universal health coverage, every citizen of India should be part of it ultimately. Third, it has seamless portability across the country. And asked, which of the following statements given above is or are correct? Here option B is the correct answer. That is, Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission is advocated for both public and private hospitals in order to guarantee that patient data is gathered and sent in a standardized digital format which facilitate access to and sharing of medical records among various healthcare providers. Here, but in statement 1, it is given as adoption is must. That is incorrect. And every Indian resident will receive a unique digital health ID as a part of the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, which will enable them to access their medical history and health records via digital portal. By 2024, the mission hopes to reach 50 crore people. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. Also, a patient can access their medical history and health records from any location in the nation because it has seamless mobility feature. This feature is quite helpful. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Now, coming to the next question, it says that with reference to free legal aid in India, consider the following. And given, it provides services to civil and criminal matters. Second, it is mentioned in Article 38 of the Indian Constitution. Third, it is not confined to cases before the subordinate courts. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Article 39A of the Indian Constitution says about to promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor. It provides free legal services to civil and criminal matters. This service is for the poor and marginalized people who cannot afford the services of a lawyer, and it is governed by the Legal Services Authority Act 1987 and headed by the National Legal Services Authority. The provisions of free legal aid may include representation by an advocate in legal proceedings. Second, supply of certified copies of judgments, orders, notes of evidence and other documents in legal proceedings. Third, include provision of aid and advice to the beneficiaries to access the benefits under the welfare statutes and schemes. It is not confined to cases before the subordinate courts, and it is provided to the needy from the lowest court to the Supreme Court of India. Hence, the correct answer is option B. That is, statement 1 and 2 are correct. And statement 3 is incorrect because free legal aid is confined to cases before the subordinate courts. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that in India, Legal Service Authority provides free legal services to which of the following types of citizens? And given, a person with an annual income of less than 1 lakh. Second, transgender with an annual income of less than 2 lakhs. Third, member of other backward classes with an annual income of less than 3 lakh. Fourth, all senior citizens. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. So the correct answer is option A. Here statement 3 is incorrect because there is no such provision of free legal aid specifically for OBCs. And statement 4 is also incorrect because it is not available for free for all senior citizens. Okay, coming to the next question, it says that Global Innovation Index is published by the and given World Economic Forum, World Bank, World Intellectual Property Organization and International Monetary Fund. Pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about it. In Global Innovation Index 2024, India secured 39th position among 133 global economies. It was launched in 2007 through a collaboration between INSEAD, a prominent business school, second World Business, third British magazine. It is published by the World Intellectual Property Organization annually. Additionally, it acts as a valuable benchmark tool for policymakers, business leaders and other stakeholders, and offers a comprehensive evaluation of global innovation by tracking the performance of 133 economies worldwide. Also, it serves as a benchmark resources that charts global innovation trends, guiding policymakers, business leaders and others in unleashing human ingenuity for improving lives and address shared challenges including climate change. Hence, option C is the correct answer. That is, it is published by the World Intellectual Property Organization. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the Global Competitiveness Report is published by the and given International Monetary Fund, second, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, third, World Economic Forum, fourth, World Bank. So the Global Competitiveness Report is published by the World Economic Forum and it provides an annual index ranking countries based on their competitiveness. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Now coming to the next question, it says that consider the following pairs and given disputed boundaries and between the countries and asked how many of the above pairs are correctly matched. Pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Recently, line of actual control is in news because troops of India and China exchanged sweets at border points, signaling thaw in Sino-Indian ties post disengagement. Now let us learn about line of actual control. It is a national boundary that divides Indian controlled territory from Chinese controlled territory. It is not formally agreed upon by the two countries and is neither depicted on a map nor physically marked on the ground. However, India considers the line of actual control to be 3,488 kilometers long, while China estimates it to be around 2,000 kilometers. And the line of actual control is divided into three sectors. We can see in this picture, right? The eastern sector, middle sector and western sector. In the eastern sector, it comprises Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim, and middle sector spans Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. Also, western sector includes Ladakh. And Durand line is a land border between Afghanistan and Pakistan, and green line is between Israel and Palestine. Hence, the correct answer is option C. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following pairs and asked how many of the above pairs are correctly matched. Here, North Kivu and Ituri are the eastern provinces of Democratic Republic of Congo, and Nagorno-Karabakh is a mountainous and heavily forested region that under international law is recognized as a part of Azerbaijan. And Kherson and Zaporizhzhia is a province in Ukraine. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Now coming to the next question, it says that which of the following is the correct description of Ecomark rules? And given, it is a labeling scheme for environmentally friendly products. Second, it is a tax intensive scheme for industries that meet zero carbon emissions. Third, it is a labeling scheme to promote the increase of renewable energy sources. Fourth, it is a tax intensive scheme to promote sustainable consumption patterns. Please try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Ecomark rules is implemented by the Central Pollution Control Board in partnership with Bureau of Indian Standards, and it is under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It aims to encourage the demand for environment-friendly products aligning with the principles of life and to promote lower energy consumption, also to reduce efficiency and circular economy, and it seeks to ensure accurate labeling and prevent misleading information about products. Coming to its key features, firstly, environmental criteria, that is, products must meet specific eco-friendly standards to get accreditation. Second, consumer awareness. Here it aims to educate consumers on environmental concerns and promote sustainable consumption. Third, manufacturer motivation, that is, it encourages industries to adopt sustainable production practices. Fourth, global alignment, That is, it supports India's commitment to environmental conservation and global sustainability goals. The criteria for granting Ecomark is the product should reduce pollution. It should be recyclable or made from recycled materials or both. Also, the products must reduce reliance on non-renewable resources. Also, it should reduce the use of materials that have an adverse impact on the environment. Hence, option A is the correct answer. That is, it is a labeling scheme for environmentally friendly products. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that Climate Action Tracker, which monitors the emission reduction pledges of different countries, is a and given database created by Coalition of Research Organization. B. Wing of International Panel of Climate Change. Option C. Committee under United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Option D. Agency promoted and financed by United Nations Environment Program and World Bank. Basically, it is an independent scientific analysis called the Climate Action Tracker, monitors government climate action and compares it to the Paris Agreement's widely accepted goal of holding warming well below 2 degrees Celsius and pursuing efforts to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. In 2009, the Climate Action Tracker, a partnership between Climate Analytics and the New Climate Institute, had offered policymakers this impartial information. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Now coming to the next question, it says that with the present technological advancement, India AI mission visions for which of the following? And given democratize AI benefits across society. Second, strengthen India's global leadership in AI. Third, foster technological self-reliance. And fourth, ensure ethical and responsible AI use. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. India AI mission aims to advance various initiatives and ensure structured implementation through a public-private partnership model. Also, it visions to democratize AI benefits across society, bolster India's global leadership in AI, foster technological self-reliance, and ensure ethical and responsible AI use. The key components of the AI mission are compute capacity, India AI Innovation Center, India AI Datasets Platform, India AI Application Development Initiative, India AI Future Skills Program, India AI Startup Financing, and Safe and Trusted AI. From this, option D will be the correct answer. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with the present state of development, artificial intelligence can effectively do which of the following? And given, bring down electricity consumption in industrial units. Second, create meaningful short stories and songs. Third, disease diagnosis. Fourth, text to speech conversion. Fifth, wireless transmission of electrical energy. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here, the applications of artificial intelligence are advanced web search engines, for example, Google search, and recommendation systems such as YouTube, Amazon, and etc. Also, understanding human speech, for example, Alexa or Google Assistant, and self-driving cars, generative and creative tools, that is ChatGPT, and also AI has been used in disease diagnosis and text-to-speech conversion. From this, option B will be the correct answer. Now coming to the next question, it says that consider the following diseases and given smallpox, trachoma, malaria, and polio, and asked which of the above diseases have been eradicated in India. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Trachoma was in news in October because India became the third country in the Southeast Asian region to successfully eliminate trachoma, an eye disease caused by a bacterial infection, as a public health problem. Now, what is trachoma? Let us dive into it. Trachoma is a bacterial infection caused by Chlamydia trachomatis. The infection primarily affects the eyes, leading to roughening of the inner surface of the eyelids. It transmits in two ways, that is direct transmission and indirect transmission. In direct transmission, it spread through contact with eye, nose, or throat secretions from infected individuals. An indirect transmission, that is, flies that have come into contact with the secretions can further spread the infection. Coming to its consequences, pain and discomfort such as itching, irritation, discharge and sensitivity to light. Second, severe complications, that is corneal damage and irreversible blindness. Third, advanced stages. The eyelids turn inward, causing the eyelashes to rub against the eyeball and leading to further damage. Now, if you see the spread of trachoma in India, in 1971, trachoma caused 5% of blindness cases in India, and in 2005, it reduced to 4% of all blindness cases. In 2017, India declared free from infective trachoma with only 0.7 prevalence. And in 2018, trachoma prevalence dropped further to 0.008%. And in 2024, India achieves trachoma-free status. So the correct answer is option D. That is, smallpox, trachoma and polio have been eradicated in India and malaria has not been eradicated yet. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that H1N1 virus is sometimes mentioned in the news with reference to which one of the following diseases, and given AIDS, bird flu, dengue and swine flu. Here the correct answer is option D, that is swine flu. H1N1 flu, sometimes called as swine flu, is a type of influenza A virus. Influenza viruses such as H1N1 infect the cells that line the nose, throat and lungs. It is called swine flu because it is similar to a flu virus that affects pig. And the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, the 1977 Russian flu pandemic and the 2009 swine flu pandemic are the major outbreaks. Coming to the next question, it says that which of the following statements regarding microRNA or mRNA is or are correct? And given, it is a non-coding RNA molecule which regulates gene expression. Second, a single mRNA can regulate several genes. And asked, select the answer using the code given below. Try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. MicroRNA or mRNA are small non-coding RNA molecules. It regulates gene expression at the post-transcription level by binding to messenger RNA and preventing protein synthesis. Also, they play a crucial role in gene regulation, ensuring specific proteins are produced in different cells according to their function. Coming to the protein formation and gene regulation, first is transcription. In this, DNA sequence is transcribed into messenger RNA in the nucleus. Second, translation, that is mRNA moves to the ribosome where transfer RNA brings amino acids to synthesize proteins. Third, role of microRNA. In this, microRNA bind to mRNA and silence gene expression, preventing unnecessary protein formation. The significance of microRNA include transcription, that is DNA sequence is transcribed into messenger RNA in the nucleus. Second, fundamental in gene regulation. MicroRNAs coordinate and fine-tune gene expression networks. Also, it regulates multiple genes. A single microRNA can regulate several genes, and a gene can be controlled by multiple microRNAs. Also, it is essential for normal development. That is, cells and tissues do not develop properly without microRNAs. Coming to the disease implications, abnormal microRNA regulation can contribute to tumor growth, that is cancer. Genetic disorders such as mutations in microRNA genes can lead to congenital hearing loss, eye and skeletal disorders. Hence, the correct answer is option C, that is both 1 and 2 are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that RNA interference technology has gained popularity in the last few years. Why? And given these statements and asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Here option A is the correct answer. And statement 1 is correct because it is used in developing gene silencing therapies. And statement 2 is also correct because it can be used in developing therapies for the treatment of cancer. Statement 3 is incorrect because it is not used to develop hormone replacement therapies. And statement 4 is correct because it can be used to produce crop plants that are resistant to viral pathogens. Coming to the next question, it says that Consider the following statements. And given statement 1, that is, the Indian wild ass is protected as vulnerable category in Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Statement 2 as, it is primarily found in Rajasthan, and asked which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. Indian wild ass, also known as khur, is a subspecies of Asiatic wild ass. Its scientific name is Equus hemineus, and it is endemic to India and primarily found in the Little Run of Kutch and Great Run of Kutch, that is in Gujarat. The total population of Indian wild ass is 7,672, which is increase of 26.14 from the 2020 estimate of 6,082. Coming to the conservation status, it is protected under Wildlife Protection Act 1972 as Schedule 1, and the IUCN status is endangered. Its major threats are illicit salt panning industry, increasing network of the irrigation canal system, and road accidents. From this, option C is the correct answer. And here statement 2 is incorrect because it is primarily found in Gujarat. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements, and given lions do not have a particular breeding season. Second, unlike most other big cats, cheetahs do not roar. Third, unlike male lions, male leopards do not proclaim their territory by scent marking. And asked which of the statements given above are correct. Here, option A is the correct answer because the first statement says that lions do not have a particular breeding season, and that's right because female lions can enter estrus at any time of the year and lions can reproduce all year long. And statement 2, that is, unlike most other big cats, cheetahs do not roar. This is also true because unlike other large cats, cheetahs are able to roar. Instead, they emit purring, chirping and growling noises. And statement 3, that is, unlike male lions, male leopards do not proclaim their territory by scent marking. This is incorrect because like many other large cats, male leopards mark their territory with scents, communicating with other leopards by marking their area with urine and other secretions. Now coming to the next question, which of the following issues the State Global Water Report? And given Climate Risk Index, option B, World Meteorological Report, option C, Climate Change Performance Index, and Water Quality Index. Now pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about it. State of Global Water Report is published by World Meteorological Report. Coming to the key findings of the report, firstly, drier than average river discharge. That is, 2023 was the driest year in the last 30 years. And Ganga and Brahmaputra basins face lower than average discharge. Additionally, West and Central Asia Americans also saw declining river flows. This is due to transition from La Nina to El Nino and ocean warming. Second, reservoir inflows and storage. Below average inflows globally except Ganga basin. Also India's west coast, Murray Darling, Parana saw the reduced inflows. Third, groundwater levels, that is below average in 30% of monitored wells in North America, Brazil, Europe and Australia, and above average in parts of India, Niger, USA, Canada, Scandinavia, Korea and New Zealand. And high precipitation boosted groundwater in some areas. Fourthly, soil moisture decline. Below average in 30% of monitored wells in North America, Brazil, Europe and Australia. And low soil moisture in North America, South America, Europe, Russia and China. And high soil moistures in Alaska, Northeast Canada, India and Northeast Russia. Fifthly, water scarcity and future outlook. 3 billion people face water shortages annually, raising to 5 billion by 2050. Hence, the correct answer is option B. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the Global Competitiveness Report is published by the and given International Monetary Fund, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, option C, World Economic Forum and option D, World Bank. The Global Competitiveness Report is published by the World Economic Forum, which provides an annual index ranking countries based on their competitiveness. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Now coming to the next question, it says that consider the following with reference to cyclones, and given only some cyclones develop circular eye. Second, in northern hemisphere, air circulates in anti-clockwise direction, whereas clockwise in southern hemisphere. And asked which of the above statements is or are correct. Now pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Cyclones are atmospheric disturbances characterized by low pressure center and swift destructive air circulation. These weather phenomena are often accompanied by violent storms and adverse conditions. Additionally, cyclones are notable for their distinct circulation patterns. That is, in northern hemisphere, air circulates inward in an anti-clockwise direction, and in southern hemisphere, air circulates inward in clockwise direction. Coming to the formation of cyclones, the life cycle of a tropical cyclone is divided into 3 stages. Firstly, formation and initial development stage. Here, the formation of a cyclone storm depends on specific conditions. That is, warm sea surface. Temperature is greater than 26 degrees up to a depth of 60 meters and facilitates the evaporation of water vapor into the atmosphere. Second, atmospheric instability. It promotes the formation of massive vertical cumulus clouds. Rising air cools and condenses above the ocean, enhancing convection. India's west coast, Murray, Darling, Parana saw reduced inflows. Secondly, mature tropical cyclones. The key features of a fully developed cyclone are intensified storms, that is, vigorous thunderstorms with rising air spreading horizontally at the tropopause level, and positive pressure at high altitude accelerates descending air, warming it through compression. And the third stage is the eye of the cyclone. It is a calm, warm center with minimal wind activity. The shape of the eye are circular, concentric and elliptical. Coming to the cloud structure, concentric bands of highly turbulent cumulus thunderstorms and common in regions like Indian Ocean. Hence option C is the correct answer. And yes, only some cyclones develop circular eye. That is, statement 1 is correct. And in northern hemisphere, air circulates in anti-clockwise direction, whereas clockwise in southern hemisphere. And statement 2 is also correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements, and given jet streams occur in northern hemisphere only. Second, only some cyclones develop an eye. Third, the temperature inside the eye of a cyclone is nearly 10 degrees Celsius lesser than that of the surroundings. And asked which of the statements given above are correct. Here, the correct answer is option C, and the statement 1 and 3 are incorrect because jet streams occur in both northern and southern hemispheres, and the conditions to form tropical cyclone is large sea surface with a temperature higher than 27 degrees Celsius. Coming to the next question, it says, consider the following statements, and given statement 1 as NAGAR 1 YOJANA aims to build 500 NAGAR 1s in cities, and statement 2 as National Compensatory Afforestation Management and Planning Authority contributes funds to the program, and asked which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. You can pause the video and try to attempt this question. Okay, let us learn about it. NAGAR 1 YOJANA was launched in 2020 by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It is purposed for creation of NAGAR 1s in urban areas, which promotes urban forestry by involving local communities, NGOs, educational institutions, local bodies, etc. Also, it aims to build 1000 NAGAR 1s or NAGAR Vatika in cities with municipal corporations, municipal councils, municipalities or urban local bodies. Also, it aims to give residents a healthy, wholesome living environment and to support the development of clean, green, sustainable cities. The silent features of NAGAR 1 YOJANA are creating green space and an aesthetic environment in an urban setup, creating awareness about plants and biodiversity and developing environment stewardship. Third, facilitating in situ conservation of important flora of the region and contributing to environmental improvement of cities by pollution mitigation, and providing cleaner air, noise reduction, water harvesting and reduction of heat island effect, and extending health benefits to residents of the city. Lastly, helping the cities become climate resilient. Hence, option D is the correct answer. That is, statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, consider the following statements. And given, under this scheme, farmers will have to pay a uniform premium of 2% for any crop they cultivate in any season of the year. Second, this scheme covers post-harvest losses arising out of cyclones and unseasonal rains. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here, the correct answer is option B. And statement 1 is incorrect because under this scheme, there will be a uniform premium of only 2% to be paid by farmers for all Kharif crops and 1.5% for all Rabi crops. And statement 2 is correct because the scheme provides coverage for the entire cropping cycle from pre-sowing to post-harvest and mid-season adversities. Additionally, it was launched in 2016 and replaced all the prevailing yield insurance schemes in India. This scheme is administered by the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare under the Ministry of Agriculture along with general insurance companies, and it aims to support production in agriculture by providing affordable crop insurance to ensure comprehensive risk cover for crops of farmers against all preventable natural risks. Coming to the next question, it says that consider the following birds, and given AMUR falcons, Siberian crane, bar-headed goose, and asked how many of the above birds migrates to India. Pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. AMUR falcons was in news in October because scientists to tag satellite transmitters on AMUR falcons to analyze migratory routes. Now let us learn about AMUR falcons. It is locally known as Kahwai Punya in Manipur and Molulim in Nagaland. A single million strong population of AMUR falcons can consume up to 2 billion termites in just over 2 weeks. The IUCN status of AMUR falcons is least concern, and it is protected under Wildlife Protection Act 1974 as Schedule 4. Its major threats are hunting, that is, during migration, the AMUR falcons is hunted for food in parts of northeastern India and eastern Africa, and illegal trapping, habitat loss and overexploitation of food sources. It migrates twice a year between northern Asia and southern Africa, where they breed and spend the winter respectively. And their autumn migration involves 3,500 kilometer journey across the Arabian Sea. Here the correct answer is option C. Hence, AMUR falcons, Siberian crane, bar-headed goose migrates to India. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to India's biodiversity, Ceylon frogmoth, coppersmith barbet, great chin minivet and white-throated redstart are, and given the options as birds, primates, reptiles and amphibians. Here the correct answer is option A, that is all these are birds. Coming to the next question, it says that consider the following statements, and given statement 1 as Living Planet report tracks sizes of animal population and how they are changing, and statement 2 as it is published by the World Wildlife Fund, and asked which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Try to attempt this question. Okay, let us learn about it. Living Planet report tracks sizes of animal population and how they are changing. Also, it is used as an indicator for early warning risk related to extinction of species and ecosystem losses. It is published by the World Wildlife Fund. The key findings of the report are: first, global wildlife population decline. 73% of decline in monitored wildlife populations as per World Wildlife Fund's Living Planet Report 2024. In 2022, the decline was 69%, but comparisons are limited due to dataset changes. Living Planet Index tracks 35,000 population trends of 5,495 species over 50 years. Second, ecosystem-based wildlife population decline, that is freshwater ecosystem, which is declined 85%, and the terrestrial ecosystem declined 69%, and marine ecosystems declined 56%. Third, threats to global wildlife such as habitat loss and degradation, which is due to unsustainable farming and food consumption, and over exploitation, invasive species and diseases. Also, pollution is a significant factor in Asia Pacific. Severe ecosystem damage may become irreversible, affecting global biodiversity. Hence option A is the right answer. That is, both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct and statement 1 explains statement 2. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that India's ranking in the Ease of Doing Business Index is sometimes seen in the news. Which of the following has declared that ranking? And given Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, second, World Economic Forum, third, World Bank, and fourth, World Trade Organization. Here the correct answer is option C, that is World Bank. Basically, the ease of doing business is a measure of an economist's position to the best regulatory practices. Now coming to the next question, it says that with reference to the mission MAUSAM, consider the following statements. And given, it aims to transform India into weather ready and climate smart nation. Second, it is a national initiative by the Ministry of Earth Sciences. And asked which of the above statements is or are incorrect. You can pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Mission MAUSAM is a national initiative by the Ministry of Earth Sciences, which aims at transforming India into weather ready and climate smart nation, focusing on improving weather forecasting and strengthening resilience against climate change and extreme weather events. It is approved by the Union Cabinet in 2024 with an outlay of 2,000 crore for the phase 1. The need for Mission MAUSAM are tropical weather challenges, climate change impacts, current forecast limitations, enhanced observation systems, advanced forecasting models, weather management and last mile connectivity. And the key stakeholders are India Meteorological Department, which focuses on observations, services and dissemination. Second, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, which specializes in field campaigns, process studies and modeling. Third, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, which focuses on data assimilation and seamless weather prediction. Hence, the correct answer is option D. Here, both the statements are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following best describes the aim of Green India mission of the Government of India? And given, incorporating environmental benefits and cost into the union and state budgets, thereby implementing the green accounting. Second, launching the second green revolution to enhance agriculture output so as to ensure food security to one and all in the future. Third, restoring and enhancing forest cover and responding to climate change by a combination of adaptation and mitigation measures. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Here the correct answer is option C, that is Green India Mission was launched in 2014, which aims at protecting, restoring and enhancing India's diminishing forest cover. Coming to the next question, it says that Emission Gap Report published by United Nations Environment Programme has been developed for and given option 1, reducing emissions to meet goals of Paris Agreement. Option B, promoting sustainable developments and green economy initiatives. Option C, reducing disaster risk and management practices. And option D, promoting renewable energy and energy efficiency projects. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Emission Gap Report is published by United Nations Environment Programme. Coming to its key findings, first, new nationally determined contributions commitments required by 2025. That is, nations must submit updated NDCs by early 2025 before COP30. These commitments must outline stronger emissions reduction targets. Second, emission reduction targets for 1.5 degrees Celsius goal, 42% reduction by 2030 and 57% reduction by 2035. Without these reductions, global temperature rise could reach 2.6 to 3.1 degrees Celsius this century. Third, severe consequences of inaction. That is, failure to enhance NDC ambitions would cause severe environmental, economic and social damage. Extreme weather, biodiversity loss and economic instability would follow. The possible pathways to stay below 1.5 degrees Celsius are rapid deployment of renewable energy and forest conservation can drive significant emission cuts. Urgent need for stronger policies and investments. Updated NDCs must be backed by whole of government approach and socio-economic benefits. And International collaboration, financial system reform, and private sector involvement are crucial, and a six-fold increase in mitigation investment needed. Achieving these goals requires major financial investments in climate action. Developing nations need support through global financial reforms and climate funding mechanism. G20 nations must lead the effort. The world's largest emitters, especially G20 countries, must take the lead. They bear the greatest responsibility in cutting emissions and financing global climate action. Hence, the correct answer is option A, that is, reducing emissions to meet goals of Paris Agreement. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following gives Global Gender Gap Index ranking to the countries of the world, and given World Economic Forum, United Nations Human Rights Council, third United Nations Women, and World Health Organization. So the Global Gender Gap Index was released by the World Economic Forum. That is, option A is the correct answer. Additionally, it measures across 4 key dimensions, that is, economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, political empowerment. Now coming to the next question, it says that with reference to Pradhana Mantri YASASVI, consider the following statements, and given it is a scholarship scheme for OBC and ST students. Second, it comes under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Third, students with total family income of up to 2.50 lakh are eligible. And asked which of the following statements given above is or are correct. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. PM-JDY aims at uplifting students from other backward classes, that is OBC, economically backward classes, and denotified tribes by providing them with access to quality education during their formative years. It comes under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and aligns with the Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas vision. Also, it integrates various earlier scholarship programs to ensure comprehensive financial assistance for students at school and higher education levels. Coming to the objectives, to promote educational empowerment among these vulnerable groups, helping them overcome financial barriers and to complete their education. Also, eligibility is given as YASASVI Entrance Test 2023 is the basis for the candidate selection, and it is conducted by the National Testing Agency under the direction of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India. It is open to OBC, economically backward class, denotified tribe students with a total annual family income of up to 2.50 lakhs. Hence, the correct answer is option B. Here, the statement 1 is incorrect because PM-JDY aims at uplifting students from other backward classes, economically backward classes, and denotified tribes. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Pradhana Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, consider the following statements, and given it is a flagship scheme of the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Second, it, among other things, will also impart training in soft skills, entrepreneurship, financial and digital literacy. Third, it aims to align the competences of the unregulated workforce of the country to the National Skill Qualification Framework, and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here, option C is the correct answer, and statement 1 is incorrect because it is implemented by the National Skills Development Corporation under the guidance of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And statement 2 and 3 are correct. That is, it will impart training in soft skill, entrepreneurship, financial and digital literacy. And it aims to align the competencies of the unregulated workforce of the country to the National Skill Qualification Framework. Now coming to the next question, it says that which of the following statements regarding E-SHRAM portal is correct? And given it aims to support and empower unorganized workforce. Second, it is launched by the Ministry of Skill and Development. Third, workers should be a member of Employment Provident Fund organization. And asked which of the above statements is or are incorrect. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. E-SHRAM portal is a flagship initiative by the Government of India, which aims to support and empower the unorganized workforce, which forms the backbone of nation's economy. And it is launched by the Ministry of Labour and Employment in 2021. And it is designated to create a LADAKH comprehensive national database of unorganized workforce. The objectives of E-SHRAM portal are establish a centralized database of unorganized workers and enhance access to social security schemes and benefits. Also, it facilitates job matching and skill development opportunities, that is to strengthen labor market resilience by integrating unorganized workers into the formal economy, and to promote financial inclusion through direct benefit transfers and digital payments. The eligibility of registering on E-SHRAM portal are: age should be between 16 to 59 years and should be employed in the unorganized sector, including self-employed individuals, daily wage laborers and gig workers. Third, should possess an Aadhaar card, a valid mobile number linked to Aadhaar and a bank account. Additionally, workers need not be a member of the Employees Provident Fund Organization or Employees State Insurance Corporation. Hence, the correct answer will be option B. That is, statement 2 is incorrect because it is launched by the Ministry of Labour and Employment. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following in respect of National Career Service, and given National Career Service is an initiative of the Department of Personnel and Training, Government of India. Second, National Career Service has been launched in a mission mode to improve the employment opportunities to uneducated youth of the country, and asked which of the above statements is or are correct. Here option D is the correct answer. The statement 1 is incorrect because the project is being implemented by the Directorate General of Employment, Ministry of Labour and Employment. And statement 2 is also incorrect because it is one of the mission mode project under the umbrella of e-governance plan, which was launched in the year 2015. Its objectives is to work towards bridging the gap between job seekers and employers, candidates seeking training and career guidance, and agencies providing training and career counseling by transforming National Employment Service. Coming to the next question, it says that consider the following. And given it is a missile defense system developed by Israel. It uses hit-to-kill approach to destroy incoming missiles. Third, it can destroy ballistic missiles at altitude up to 200 kilometers. And asked, how many of the above statements related to THAAD? Pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. THAAD, Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, is an advanced missile defense system developed by the US to intercept and destroy short, medium and intermediate range ballistic missiles during their terminal base, the last phase of their flight. Now, how does THAAD work? Unlike others, THAAD uses hit-to-kill approach, means it does not explode to destroy enemy's missiles. Instead, it uses a sheer force impact, that is kinetic energy, by directly colliding with incoming missiles. This allows for more precise destruction without creating additional explosive damage. Also, it destroys incoming missiles at high altitudes up to 93 miles or 150 kilometers and over long distance up to 125 miles or 200 kilometers. Coming to the components of the system, interceptor missiles. These missiles are launched to intercept and destroy threat. Mobile launch vehicles. These vehicles carry the interceptor missiles and can be moved to different locations. And radar systems. These tracks and detects missile threats from far away up to 3000 kilometers, allowing the early warning. Lastly, fire control system, which ensures the missile hit their targets. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Here, statement 1 is incorrect because it was developed by the US, not Israel. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that what is Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, sometimes seen in the news? And given option A, an Israeli radar system, B, India's indigenous anti-missile program, C, an American anti-missile system, D, a defense collaboration between Japan and South Korea. As we have already discussed, it is an American radar system. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Okay, let us go to the next question. It says that consider the following statements and given statement 1 as recently Bihar gets its first dry port. Statement 2, dry port or inland port provides logistic facility away from the seaport or airport. And asked which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about it. Dry port or inland container depot provides a logistic facility away from the seaport or airport for cargo handling, storage and transportations. It acts as a bridge between sea airports and inland regions, facilitating efficient movement of goods. Now, how does they work? That is custom clearance. For international trade, dry ports offer customs clearance services. Second, transshipment. Dry ports transport goods from ships to local island. Third, storage. Goods are consolidated and stored in dry ports. Fourth, bulk, general and container cargo are handled and stored in dry ports. Fifth, road and rail cargo transporters are maintained by dry ports. And recently Bihar gets its first dry port. Hence the correct answer is option A. That is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct and statement 2 explains statement 1. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that consider the following pairs and given port and it is well known as and asked how many of the above pairs are correctly matched. So here Jawaharlal Nehru port is the largest container port in India. Hence third pair is incorrect. And Kamarraja port is the first major port in India registered as a company and Mudra port is the largest privately owned port in India. Hence option B is the correct answer. Also let us learn about major seaports of India. India has a long coastline of 7516.6 kilometers and is dotted with 13 major and 200 notified non-major ports. These major ports handle 95% of India's foreign trade. Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways oversees major ports while minor ports are managed by states. Initially, Indian ports continued to grow after the independence. Today, they are handling large volumes of domestic as well as overseas trade. Coming to the next question, with reference to the GRAMNYAYALAYAS, consider the following and given it is aimed at providing inexpensive justice to people in rural areas at their doorsteps. The state governments are responsible for establishing GRAMNYAYALAYAS. Third, they have jurisdiction over civil and criminal cases. And asked which of the statements given above are correct. Try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. Okay, let us learn about it. GRAMNYAYALAYA Act 2008 came into effect from 2nd October 2009, which aims to provide affordable and quick access to justice to the citizens at their doorsteps. This act extends to the whole India except to the states of Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim and to the tribal areas. Here the state governments are responsible for establishing GRAMNYAYALAYA in consultation with the respective high courts. The key features of GRAMNYAYALAYA are, it is aimed at providing inexpensive justice to people in rural areas at their doorsteps and to be established for every panchayat. The seat of the GRAMNYAYALAYA is located at the headquarters of the intermediate panchayat. The Nyayadhikari shall periodically visit villages. The GRAMNYAYALAYA will try criminal cases, civil suits, claims or disputes which are specified in the first and second schedule to the Act. Disputes are to be settled as far as possible by bringing about conciliation between the parties. And the GRAMNYAYALAYA shall not be bound by the rules of evidence provided in the Indian Evidence Act 1872, but shall be guided by the principles of natural justice subject to any rule made by the High Court. Hence option D is the correct answer. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that the government enacted the Panchayat Extension to Schedule Areas Act in 1996. Which one of the following is not identified as its objective? And given option A to provide self-governance, option B to recognize traditional rights, and option C to create autonomous regions in tribal areas, and option D to free tribal people from exploitation. Here option C, that is to create autonomous regions in tribal areas, is not identified as its objective. Additionally, the PESA Act was passed in 1996 to facilitate the extension of the provisions of Part 9 of the Constitution of India relating to panchayats to the scheduled areas. The objectives of the PESA Act are to extend the provisions of Part 9 of the Constitution of India to scheduled areas identified by 5th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Second, to guarantee self-governance through traditional Gram Sabhas for people residing in the scheduled areas of India. And to provide tribal control and rights over the natural resources and conserve their identity and culture. Coming to the next question, it says that with reference to 5I alliance, consider the following. And given, it is a military alliance aimed at countering terrorism. Second, it was formed in the aftermath of World War II. Third, US, UK, Canada, New Zealand and Australia comprises 5 I's. And asked, which of the statements given above are correct? Try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. Okay, let us learn about it. 5I Alliance is a multilateral intelligence sharing network shared by over 20 different agencies of 5 English-speaking countries, that is US, UK, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. Now, how it operates? That is, it employs various communication methods including signals intelligence to monitor the activities of citizens in other member countries, and it allows them to bypass their respective domestic surveillance regulations. The key areas involvement are ocean and maritime surveillance to monitor the naval activities and maritime threats, scientific and data intelligence analysis such as reaching military technologies and global security threats, medical intelligence, that is accessing biological threats, pandemics and health security risk, geospatial intelligence such as analyzing satellite imagery and geographic data for security purposes, counterintelligence and counterterrorism by detecting and preventing espionage, cyber threats and terrorist activities. Hence the correct answer is option B. Here the statement 1 is incorrect because it is multilateral intelligence sharing network. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following statements about exercise Mitra Shakti 2023 are correct? And given, this is a joint military exercise between India and Bangladesh. Second, it commenced in Aundh in Pune. Third, joint response during counter-terrorism operation was a goal of this operation. Fourth, Indian Air Force was a part of this exercise. And asked, select the answer using the code given below. Here option D is the correct answer and statement 1 is incorrect because it was a joint military exercise between India and Sri Lanka, not Bangladesh. And statement 2 is correct, that is the exercise commenced in Aundh, Pune. And statement 3 is also correct because the goal included a joint response during counter-terrorism operations. And also the Indian Air Force was a part of this exercise. Coming to the next question, it says that recently National Mission on Edible Oils, Oilseeds is in news. Its objective is to, and given, option A, boost economic oilseed production and achieving self-reliance in edible oils. Option B, produce genetic modified oilseeds. Option C, focus on the production of palm oil. Option D, increase domestic edible oil production to 30 million tons by 2030 to 31. Try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. Now let us learn about it. National Mission on Edible Oils, Oilseeds aims to boost domestic oilseed production and achieving self-reliance, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat, in edible oils. It focuses on enhancing the production of key primary oilseeds crops such as rapeseed, mustard, groundnut, soya bean, sunflower and sesame, as well as increasing collection and extraction efficiency from secondary sources like cottonseed, rice, bran and tree brown oils. The production goal is to increase primary oilseed production from 39 million tons to 69.7 million tons by 2030 to 31 and increase domestic edible oil production to 25.45 million tons by 2030 to 31 to cover approximately 72% of projected domestic demand. It uses to promote high yield, high oil content seed varieties, expanding cultivation into rice fallow areas and promote intercropping. Also using advanced technologies like genome editing for high quality seed development. The key components are seed authentication, traceability and holistic inventory portal. Second, seed infrastructure. Third, expansion of cultivation. Hence, option A is the correct answer, that is to boost domestic oilseed production and achieving self-reliance in edible oils. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements and given the quality of imported edible oils is more than domestic production of edible oils in the last 5 years. The government does not impose any customs duty on all imported edible oils as a special case, and asked which of the following statements is or are correct. Here option A is the right answer, and statement 1 is correct because India heavily relies on imports to meet its edible oil demand, and statement 2 is incorrect because the government does not impose any customs duty on imported edible oils. Now let us move on to the next question, which says that consider the following statements regarding 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, and given Article 244 Clause 2 and Article 275 Clause 1 of the Indian Constitution deals with 6th schedule. Second, all laws require government approval, and asked which of the above statements is or are incorrect. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. Okay, let us learn about it. Article 244 Clause 2 and Article 275 Clause 1 of the Indian Constitution is provided for the administration of tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Coming to its provisions, autonomous districts, councils and autonomous regional councils. Tribal areas are organized into autonomous districts, and the governor can further divide these into autonomous regions if multiple scheduled tribes reside there. The government can recognize districts altering boundaries and names, and each autonomous district has a district court with up to 30 members, maximum 4 nominated by the governor. Here members are elected based on adult suffrage. Regional councils exist for autonomous regions. Second, legislative powers. Councils can legislate on matters like land management, forest management, excluding reserved forest, inheritance and regulations on non-tribe trading, and all laws require the governor's approval. Thirdly, judicial administration. Councils can form village and district council courts for disputes among scheduled tribes, and these courts cannot adjudicate capital offences or serious crimes. Fourthly, infrastructure development. District councils can manage education, primary schools, healthcare, market and transport infrastructure. Fifthly, application of laws. Acts of Parliament or state legislature may not apply to these areas or may do so with modifications. And in investigative authority, the governor can appoint commissions to investigate issues related to the autonomous regions management. Hence, option D will be the right answer. That means both statements given are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the provisions in the 5th schedule and 6th schedule in the Constitution of India are made in order to, and given option A, protect the interest of scheduled tribes. Option B, determine the boundaries between states. Option C, determine the powers, authorities and responsibilities of panchayats. And option D, protect the interest of all border states. Here option A is the right answer, that is 5th schedule and 6th schedule in the Constitution of India are made in order to protect the interest of scheduled tribes. So these are the schedules of the Indian Constitution. Please remember this. Coming to the next question, it says that the World Economic Outlook, which publishes twice a year, is released by, and given World Bank, International Monetary Fund, World Economic Forum and Institute for Economic and Peace. Pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. Okay, let us learn about it. It is released by the International Monetary Fund, which publishes twice a year, that is in April and October. The key focus areas are assessment of economic developments, in which it evaluates changes in economic indicators such as GDP growth, inflation, employment, trade and fiscal policies. Second, identification of trends in this is it tracks long-term economic patterns, emerging risks and sectoral shifts influencing global and national economies. Third, policy recommendations, where it provides strategic suggestions for governments to enhance economic stability, growth and development. Also, let us learn about International Monetary Fund. The IMF is a global organization that works to achieve sustainable growth and prosperity for all of its 191 member countries. It supports economic policies that promote financial stability and monetary cooperation, which are essential to increase productivity, job creation and economic well-being. It is governed by and accountable to its member countries. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following organizations bring out the publication known as World Economic Outlook, and given the International Monetary Fund, option B, the United Nations Development Program, option C, the World Economic Forum, and option D, the World Bank. So, World Economic Outlook is released by the International Monetary Fund. That is, option A is the right answer. Now, let us move on to the next question, which says that consider the following statements, and given statement 1 as UPI, Unified Payments Interface, integrates multiple bank accounts into a single mobile app. Statement 2 as it is created by the National Payments Corporation of India, and asked which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. UPI or Unified Payments Interface is a mobile payment system created by the National Payment Corporation of India, which is regulated by the RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. It was launched in the year 2016 and it processed 16.58 billion financial transaction worth 23.49 lakh crore in October 2024, which is a historic milestone. Compared to October 2023, the year-on-year growth is 45%. The salient features of UPI are: first, ease of use, that is, it integrates multiple bank accounts into a single mobile app and accessible 24/7, 365 days a year. Second, security. Single click, two-factor authentication ensures compliance with security standards. Also uses virtual payment addresses to protect sensitive user information. Third, transaction options, peer-to-peer transfers, merchant and in-app payments, utility bill payments, scan and pay, donations and collections. Fourth, innovative features, QR code integration for quick payments, voice boxes for transaction announcements at vendor locations. Also, integration of RuPay credit cards for credit line based UPI payments. And fifthly, consumer support, complaint resolution directly through the app. Also, let us learn about UPI 123. It was launched by the Reserve Bank of India, which facilitates digital payments on feature phones, enabling users to access UPI services without an internet connection. Additionally, it supports 4 payment methods. First, interactive voice response numbers, in which users can make the payments by calling a specific number and following the voice prompts. Second, missed calls, where users can initiate payment by giving a missed call to a merchant specific number and then receive a call back to complete the transaction. Third, original equipment manufacturer embedded app, in which a simplified UPI app for feature phones offers basic payment. Fourth, sound-based technology. Here, users can tap their phone on a merchant device using sound waves for contactless payments. Also, let us learn about UPI LITE. It is an on-device wallet. Here, users must first contribute money to the app's wallet from their bank accounts and then make real-time payments without the internet. It does not require a separate authorization or UPI PIN to complete a transaction. transfers amounts less than 500 and the wallet limit has been increased from 2000 to 500. Hence option A is the correct answer. That is, both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct and statement 2 explains statement 1. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following is a most likely consequence of implementing the unified payments interface, and given option A, mobile wallets will not be necessary for online payments. Option B, digital currency will totally replace the physical currency in about 2 decades. Option C, FDI inflows will drastically increase. And option D, direct transfer of subsidies to poor people will become very effective. Here option A is the correct answer, because the most likely consequence of implementing the unified payments interface is mobile wallets will not be necessary for online payments. Now coming to the next question, it says that with reference to Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, consider the following statements, and given it bans all nuclear explosions whether for military or peaceful purposes. Second, administered by United Nations General Assembly. And asked, which of the following statements given above is or are correct? Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty is a multilateral treaty that bans all nuclear explosions whether for military or peaceful purposes, which was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in September 10, 1996. It was opened for signature on September 24, 1996 and administered by Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization. The key provisions of CTBT are prohibition on nuclear explosive testing, which bans all nuclear explosions whether for military or peaceful purposes. Second, verification mechanism. In this, International Monetary System uses seismic, hydroacoustic infrasound and radionuclide sensors to detect nuclear tests, and on-site inspections are conducted in suspected locations to verify compliance. Third, entry into force clause. It requires 44 specific nuclear capable countries to ratify the treaty before it becomes legally binding. The key treaties of CTBT are Limited Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and Threshold Test Ban Treaty. It was adopted at the end of the Cold War, and the disintegration of the Soviet Union reduced geopolitical tensions. The United Nations capitalized on this shift, leading to the adoption of Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Here, statement 2 is incorrect because it is administered by the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization, that is in Vienna, Austria. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following countries, and given China, France, India, Israel and Pakistan, and asked which among the above are nuclear weapon states as recognized by the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, commonly known as Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Now let us learn about NPT. It is a landmark international treaty. Its objective is to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and weapons technology. Second, to promote cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy. And further, the goal of achieving nuclear disarmament and general and complete disarmament. The treaty represents the only binding commitment in a multilateral treaty to the goal of disarmament by the nuclear weapon state. It was opened for signature in 1968 and entered into force in 1970. On May 11, 1995, the treaty was extended indefinitely. A total of 191 states have joined the treaty, including 5 nuclear weapon states. There are a total of 9 nations that possess nuclear weapons. 5 of the nations, namely US, UK, France, Russia and China, have signed the treaty. Remaining 4 nations, namely India, Pakistan, Israel and North Korea, have not signed the treaty. Hence, option A is the correct answer. That is, India, Pakistan, Israel have not signed the treaty. Let us move on to the next question. That is, consider the following statements regarding MIDH scheme. And given, it aims to promote the cultivation of fruits, vegetable, root and tuber crops. Second, it is a central sector scheme. Third, all states or UTs are covered under MID. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. MIDH or Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture Scheme is a centrally sponsored scheme. Subsidy is shared between central government and state governments in the ratio of 60:40. Whereas northeastern and Himalayan states, it is shared in the ratio of 90:10. It aims to promote the cultivation of fruits, vegetables, roots and tuber crops, mushrooms, spices, flowers, aromatic plants, coconut, cashew, cocoa and bamboo. Here all states or UTs are covered under MID. And Ministry of Agriculture and Family Welfare is the nodal ministry. The key measures are plantation infrastructure development, area expansion, rejuvenation, promotion of organic farming, protected cultivation, creation of water resources, pollination support through beekeeping, horticulture mechanism, human resource development, post-harvest management, infrastructure. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Here, statement 2 is incorrect because it is a central sponsored scheme. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Stand Up India scheme, which of the following statements is or are correct? And given its purpose is to promote entrepreneurship, SC, ST and women entrepreneurs. It provides for refinance through SIDBI. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Here both the statements given above are correct. Hence option C is the correct answer. Additionally, Stand Up India scheme was launched by Ministry of Finance on 5th April 2016 to promote entrepreneurship at grassroots level, focusing on economic empowerment and job creation. Coming to the next question, it says that consider the following statements regarding 8 core industries, and given it is calculated monthly by index of 8 core industries. Second, electricity, steel, refinery products, crude oil are some of the sectors in 8 core industry, and asked which of the above statements is or are correct. Pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. 8 core industries. The core sectors of an economy refer to the key industries that have a major impact on the economy. In India, 8 core sectors significantly influence various other industries and the overall industrial growth. 8 core sectors of the Indian economy are electricity, steel, refinery products, crude oil, coal, cement, natural gas and fertilizers. Also, let us learn about Index of 8 core industries. It is calculated monthly and published by the Office of the Economic Advisor under the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and reflects the production performance of core industries both individually and collectively. India's 8 core sectors accounts for about 40% to the index of the industrial production, a measure of industrial growth. Hence, the correct answer is option C. Here, the both statements are correct. That is, it is calculated monthly by index of 8 core industries, and electricity, steel, refinery products, crude oil are some of the sectors in 8 core industry. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that in the index of 8 core industries, which of the following is given the highest weight? And given coal production, electricity generation, fertilizer production, steel production. Hence, index of 8 core industries gives the highest weight for electricity generation. So the correct answer is option B. Now let us move on to the next question. It says that with reference to the Right to Information Act 2005, consider the following. And given any citizen of India can request information from the central or state public information officer. Second, it requires public information officer to provide information to citizens within 30 days. Third, personal information of individuals is exempted under RTI Act 2005. Fourth, it applies to the entire country except Jammu and Kashmir. And asked which of the statements given above is or are incorrect. Pause the video and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. Right to Information Act 2005 was derived from Article 19 Clause 1 Subclause A. freedom of speech and expression under the Constitution of India. The purpose is to empower citizens to seek information, promotes transparency and accountability in governance. Third, enhances public participation in decision making. Fourth, limits corruption by making government decision making more accessible. The key provisions of RTI Act are: it mandates public authorities to maintain records properly, catalogued and indexed to facilitate easy access to information. Any citizen can request information in writing from the central or state public information officer specifying the details. Public information officer must respond within 30 days of receiving a request. If rejected, the denial must be based on exemptions under Section 8 and 9. Provides for appeals if the applicant does not receive information within 30 days and the application is aggrieved by the PIO's decision. Here the exemptions under RTI Act are: national security and defense, personal information of individuals, foreign relations and sensitive data, cabinet papers, intelligence agencies and trade secrets. Hence option C is the right answer. That is, in statement 2, it requires public information officer to provide information to citizens within 30 days. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that right to privacy is protected under which article of the Constitution of India, and given option A Article 15, option B Article 19, option C Article 21 and option D Article 29. Here the correct answer is option C. Now coming to the next question, it says that which of the following pairs is or are correctly matched, and given launch pads and its purpose, and asked select the correct answer using the code given below. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Recently, ISRO's third launch pad is in news because it is to build third launch pad at Sriharikota. Now let us learn about it. Third launch pad is located in Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. Coming to its purpose, that is for the next generation launch vehicles of ISRO. Also to support as standby launch pad for the second launch pad at Sriharikota. It is designed to handle not only next generation launch vehicles but also LVM-3 vehicles with semi-cryogenic stage as well as scaled up variants of next generation launch vehicles. It is targeted to be established within a duration of 48 months or 4 years. Hence option A is the correct answer, that is third pair is correctly matched. Here first launch pad provides launch support to PSLV and SSLV, and second launch pad provides launch support to GSLV and LVM-3 and also functions as standby for PSLV. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following is a reason why astronomical distances are measured in light years, and asked option A distances among stellar bodies do not change. Option B gravity of stellar bodies do not change. Option C light always travels in straight line, and option D speed of light is always same. A light year is a unit of distance that measures how far light travels in 1 year. Since light travels at a constant speed of approximately 299,792 kilometers per second in a vacuum, it provides a consistent measure for astronomical distance. Hence option D is the right answer. Now coming to the next question, it says that consider the following statements regarding East Asia Summit, and given it is chaired by ASEAN, which rotates annually among member states. Second, India, China, Japan, Australia are among the members of East Asia Summit, and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. 19th East Asia Summit held at Vientiane, chaired by Lao PDR. It was initiated in 2005 as an ASEAN-led initiative. The first East Asia Summit held at Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia in 2005. And it is a leader-led forum. Here, all key Indo-Pacific partners meet to discuss political, security and economic challenges facing the region, and has an important role to play in advancing closer regional cooperation. Additionally, the East Asia Summit has 18 members, 10 ancient members, that is Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam. Also Australia, China, India, Japan, New Zealand, Republic of Korea, Russia and the United States. Significantly, ASEAN leads the forum and the chairperson rotates between ASEAN member states annually. Hence, option C is the correct answer. That is, both statement 1 and 2 are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements. India-Africa Summit, and given statement 1 held in 2015 was the third such summit. Statement 2 was actually initiated by Jawaharlal Nehru in 1951 and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here the correct answer is option A. Statement 1 is correct because the third summit was postponed due to the Ebola outbreak and took place in New Delhi in 2015. And statement 2 is incorrect because India-Africa Summit is a forum to reinitiate and reboot relations between India and African countries and was not initiated by Jawaharlal Nehru in 1951. Now coming to the next question, it says that consider the following, and given by renunciation, by deprivation, by incorporation of territory, and asked which of the following prescribes loss of citizenship. Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. The Constitution of India provides for a single citizenship for the whole of India. Every person who was at the commencement of the Constitution, that is 26 January 1950, domiciled in the territory of India and who was born in India or either of whose parents was born in India or who has been ordinarily resident in India for not less than 5 years became a citizen of India. It deals with matters relating to acquisition, determination and termination of Indian citizenship after the commencement of the Constitution of India. Here the constitutional basis for US citizenship is derived from the 14th Amendment of the US Constitution, and the type of citizenship allows dual citizenship, whereas in Indian citizenship it is derived from the Citizenship Act of 1955 and Articles 5 to 11 of the Indian Constitution. Here it does not allow dual citizenship but offers overseas citizenship of India status. It also provides for acquisition and loss of citizenship after the commencement of the Constitution. Now, Indian citizenship can be acquired by birth, by descent, by registration, by naturalization and by incorporation of territory, and one can lose the citizenship by renunciation, by deprivation and by termination. Hence, option A is the correct answer. And statement 3 is incorrect because by incorporation of territory relates to acquisition of the citizenship. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which states that with reference to India, consider the following, and given there is only one citizenship and one domicile. Second, a citizen by birth only can become the head of the state. Third, a foreigner once granted citizenship cannot be deprived of it under any circumstances. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here statement 2 and 3 are incorrect. Now coming to the next question, consider the following countries, and given China, India, Iran, Pakistan and Kazakhstan, and asked which of the above are members of Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It is a permanent intergovernmental international organization established on 15th June 2001 in Shanghai, but it entered into force on September 19, 2003. It aims to promote cooperation and mutual support in areas such as trade, investment, energy, transportation and security. Its objectives are strengthen relations among member states, promote cooperation in political affairs, economics and trade, scientific, technical, cultural and educational spheres, as well as in energy, transportation, tourism and environmental protection. Also, safeguard regional peace, security and stability, and to create a democratic, equitable, international, political and economic order. The official working language is Russian and Chinese. It has 10 full member states, that is China, India, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan and Belarus. Hence, option D is the correct answer. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which states that Consider the following and given Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Second, Missile Technology Control Regime. Third, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and asked India is a member of which of the above. Here, India is a member of all three statements, that is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, Missile Technology Control Regime and Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now coming to the next question. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following and given foreign currency assets, second gold, third special drawing rights, and asked which of the above comprises foreign exchange reserve. Pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about foreign exchange reserve. It is also known as FOREX reserve. These are reserves, assets held by a central bank in foreign currencies. It includes foreign currencies, bonds, treasury bills and other government securities. These reserves are denominated and expressed in the US dollar, which is the international numeraire for the purpose. RBI is the custodian of the foreign exchange reserves in India. The India's foreign exchange reserves comprises of foreign currency assets, that is, these are maintained in currencies like US dollar, euro, pound, sterling, Australian dollar and Japanese yen. Second, gold. Third, STR, that is special drawing rights. This is the reserve currency with IMF. Fourth, RTP, reserve tranche position. This is the reserve capital with IMF. The biggest contributor to India's forex reserve is foreign currency assets, followed by gold. Hence, the correct answer is option C. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to the Indian economy, collateral borrowing and lending organizations are the instruments of. So here, the correct answer is money market. That is, collateral borrowing and lending obligations are instruments of money market. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements regarding Supreme Court of India and given the Supreme Court has power to issue writs under Article 32 of the Constitution. Second, it does not have power to increase number of judges in the Supreme Court, and asked which of the above statements is or are correct. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about Supreme Court. Article 124 to 147 in Part 5 of the Constitution deals with the organization, independence, jurisdiction, power, procedure and so on of the Supreme Court. The Indian Constitution has established an integrated judicial system with the Supreme Court at the top and high courts below it. Coming to the appointment, the Chief Justice of India and other judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President of India under Clause 2 of Article 124 of the Indian Constitution. Now coming to the tenure, for Chief Justice of India until they attain the age of 65 years. The Constitution has not fixed the tenure of a judge of the Supreme Court. Any question regarding this age is to be determined by the such authority and in such manner as provided by the Parliament. The salaries, allowances, privileges, leave and pension of the judges of the Supreme Court are determined from time to time by the Parliament. A judge of the Supreme Court can be removed by an order of the President of India, and they can be removed on the following grounds, that is, proved misbehavior and incapacity. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the power to increase the number of judges in the Supreme Court of India is vested in. As we discussed, to increase the number of judges in the Supreme Court, Parliament has the power to increase the number of judges in the Supreme Court of India. Now coming to the last question, consider the following statements regarding E-MIGRATE portal. First, it is an online platform for registration of Indian workers going abroad for employment. Second, it is monitored by the Ministry of External Affairs. Third, it provides an opportunity for employers to directly register and recruit Indian workers. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about E-MIGRATE portal. It is an online platform launched by the Government of India. It facilitates the registration of Indian workers going abroad for employment. It aims to protect the right of Indian workers abroad and reduce the role of intermediaries. The benefits of E-MIGRATE portal are protection of the rights of Indian workers abroad, reduction in the exploitation of Indian workers by intermediaries, increased transparency and efficiency in the recruitment process. Last, better monitoring and regulation of the recruitment process. Hence, option D is the correct answer. That is, all the given statements are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Web 3.0, consider the following statements, and given Web 3.0 technology enables people to control their own data. Second, in Web 3.0 world, there can be blockchain-based social networks. Third, Web 3.0 is operated by users collectively rather than corporation. And asked which of the following given above are correct. Here, the option D is the correct answer. And statement 1 is correct because in a Web 3.0 universe, people will control their own data and will be able to move around from social media to email to shopping using a single personalized account or creating a public record. And statement 2 and 3 are also correct. That is, there can be a blockchain based social networks and it is operated by users collectively rather than corporation. So that's it for today. For more videos, please like, share and subscribe.